So I've been seeing a lot of these videos coming up about people talking about some of the talking points that I make about dating and stuff like that. And we gonna watch these videos. And like I said, I don't really care for people to like make their opinions. As long as they keep it respectful, then I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? But let's watch this video and let's see what this person has to say.
Man, come have a seat, my fellow.
This is Zaya, by the way, Zayah. Shout out to her.
Any lady or a dude that don't fit in any of those categories, still listen up. If you are having problems as a young heterosexual male on dating apps or just in general, listen to this video right here. I am a masculine person. Some people can call me a stud, you can call me whatever you want. I date women primarily. I date femme women primarily. That is what I'm attracted to. Don't really go after any other woman. My experiences dating is going to be a lot similar, but definitely different than what a heterosexual male goes through, especially on the basis of double standards there are in same-sex women.
I'm gonna say one thing: she's very well-spoken. So shout out to her for that.
Relationships. So to be quite honest with you, my idea and my inspiration of this video is coming from Lord Heck. He's talking about his trials and tribulations with dating, Tinder, Bumble, and just in general talking to women. And my main problem is the preconceived notions that men tend to have and generalization that men tend to have about women in relationships, specifically feminine women.
Mm-hmm.
If you are attracting a certain type of woman, you need to start looking and thinking about what am I giving out to the world. I personally always attract who I want. I don't think I've ever, unless they do not like me in that way, had a problem with attracting what I want personally. And I'm not even a person who goes out and talks to women. I've never really did that. I actually did stay on the Tinder app early 2020. I got into a relationship, and I've been in a relationship for almost 5 years now, since 2021. So I do have a lot of experience on what a relationship is and have my fun as well. Before I got into a serious relationship, seeing how these things and how dynamics play out between women and dating apps and in women now. In our age, I am 24 years old. I believe he's around the same age. So
27.
When you,
but yeah,
you're
about the same.
The range of 22 to 27, this is going to be more along the lines. If you date cougars, dude, keep going to your R&B nights, hustling it up with the hoes, and you get you low, you don't want. But we're talking about women in our age range. Stop having preconceived notions about women.
Okay, hold on. She keeps saying it's preconceived notions, so let me make sure that I know what that preconceived notion. Let's see. Let me make sure. It says a preconceived notion is an opinion, idea, or assumption formed before having adequate evidence or firsthand experience. Okay, I do have firsthand experience of what my dating life is like because I'm in it, and it's not like I'm just talking out my ass like a lot of these men do, like that's in the red pill, black pill community. They just say shit because they watched the video. Nah, these are real life experiences. So I don't have preconceived notions. The opinions that I have is based on experience. So let's keep watching though.
When you have preconceived notions, you're generally going to honestly probably attract that person that you're having that preconceived notion with. Lord Heck, he always talks about how the women that come to him are either trans women, fat women,
run that back.
Or women that
run that back. Whoa.
With Lord Heck, he always talks about how the women that come to him are either trans women, fat women, or women that he's generally not attracted to. Or
But am I lying though? I literally showed y'all. This is exactly. I didn't ask for that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, and I'm not getting loud in like a disrespectful way, but this is what I'm talking about. People be asking, like, I be thinking about, ooh, let me get a, like I don't want to say the word, the non-born women. I don't ask for that. You know what I'm saying? I don't ask for that. I don't ask for any of these things that I get. You know what I'm saying? I'm very like, okay, I want this type of woman. But it's like after some time, you know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, let me lower my standards a little bit. And that was the old me. And I've admitted to that. I said I would lower my standards. I made a whole video about it. I said I would lower my standards because I wanted companionship so bad. But now I'm at a point in my life where I'd rather be single than to not have what I actually want for myself. You know what I'm saying? So I guess she has a point in a way, but the preconceived notion part where it's like, oh, he's only getting I'm only getting trans. I'm only getting, unattractive women. And I don't flat out call like shorties that I'm not attracted to ugly. I just say they're not attractive. Like the same way that a shorty could be like, oh, if you're not 6'3", 6'2", or if you don't have a six pack, or you don't have a nice smile, boom, 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 is the same way I could have a preference about a certain body type, a certain ethnicity. It's just a preference. You get what I'm saying? That's all. Let's keep going though.
Women that, in his eyes, he sees as lower rank or on the same playing field that don't go after him or go for other people. And the thing is those people that you may have these preconceived notions that they're ugly and whatever with, they're actually getting the people that they want.
Okay. That has nothing to do with me though. I'm happy that they're able to go and get the people that they want. But they came to me at some point, right? And I said, nah, I gave them room to go get what they deserve, right? Because if they had matched with me, if I said yes, even though I didn't want to be with them, that would have been a bad relationship. You see what I'm saying? So I'm making room for them to go to the places where they're being deserved. That's the same thing I'm doing in my end. I'm like, if I don't find shorty attractive and I know it's not going to be a good fit, why would I be with somebody like that? You feel what I'm saying?
And the reason why they're doing that is because I know after years and years you get broken down, but for me personally, I'm not going to talk about an experience I had at the age of 15 and bring that into my relationships or how I
don't do that. I do not do that. I don't do that. I come to every relationship with a clean slate. Right? And that's part of the problem because I will recognize certain patterns and be like, nah, I'm going to give her some grace. I've talked about that because I come from I'm a very understanding person. I can understand why someone like is a bully or someone is what turned to stripping. You know what I'm saying? There was a point in their life where they weren't able to meet their financial needs, so they turned to stripping. That don't mean they're not a cool person. You know what I'm saying? But with that stripper lifestyle, there's so much that comes with it, right? I never said nothing like that. Okay. Never in my relationships, especially the last relationship that I was in, I tolerated so much shit. Y'all even heard it. Y'all say I'm too nice because I tolerate too much shit. And that is a byproduct of me trying to be, of me being understanding, be like, yeah, this person is acting out of character because of what they went through in their childhood. Me now, I know that's not my responsibility to deal with that. I don't flat out come to a shorty and be like, this is what happened to me 7 years ago. Let me tell you about it. I refrain from doing that because that's a turnoff. And I'm aware of that. Well, let's keep going.
Orient myself in interpersonal relationships. Whatever happened to me at 15 years old happened to me at 15 years old, and also the other person was more than likely 15 or 16 years old, so I can't hold anything against them. If you're calculating your dating years from 14 to let's say even 18, and you're using that as a basis for how you are going to continue on in the rest of your life, that is a problem.
I don't do that though. That's why I continue to date. That's exactly why I continue to date, but there's not much of a different variation. It's usually the reason why I say a lot of the things that happened in my childhood are very similar to what is going on now is because it's true. I'm not making these stories up. It might be like more advanced or, it's a more mature environment, but a lot of the same experiences are happening that I had from a childhood experience, right? I've always had a hard time in dating. From young. Do I go into every relationship and exude that energy? Nah, come in clean. I'll be like, hey, shorty, what's good? Let me get to know you, boom, boom, boom. We have a good time. I see some things, she sees some things, and it just don't end up working out, right? Or something like that. I've even openly admitted it to me being a problem at once or twice, right? Well, let's continue.
You definitely should look into that. That is definitely something that you should probably not be doing. I don't think it makes sense for you to be talking about a relationship that you had at 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 when that person was in the same age range as you. For instance,
I don't do that.
If she did cheat on you at the age of 14, she's a 14-year-old little girl. She doesn't know what she's doing. You can't hold that and think that every woman's going to cheat on you.
I don't do that. When have I ever said all women cheat? I do not promote that on this channel. I simply get on this camera, and this is the negative side of what happens when you talk about your experiences publicly, right? People will tend to, and I'm not saying that she's doing it, but it's starting to feel like she is, right? People will create this narrative that you're walking around treating everybody the way that you've dealt with experiences. I come into each experiences with an individual approach. I don't treat every friend that I meet the same way. I don't treat them all the same way. I don't do that. Not once in my life on this channel have I said all women cheat. That's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie. That's cap.
For the rest of your life, you're in 30, you're 35. Talking about an experience you had at 15. Let that shit go.
I'm talking about it because I'm allowed to talk about it this is my channel. What the fuck? I'm not allowed to. The people ask. The reason why I talked about the Las Vegas situation is because, one, it's content. Two, it's my channel. And this is some shit that it's an experience that I grew from. Like, I don't have no, and I'm like, if I saw her today, I'd be cool with her. I'd be like, oh wow, so good to see you. I don't have any problems with any of my exes unless they have done some shit to like physically harm me, mentally abuse me. Like, I don't have, like, I'm cool with these people. You know what I'm saying? Even if I haven't gotten closure from the situation, I'm cool with these people. Like, I keep going. I'm not out here. I do not have like the bitterness that does not exist in my body. I don't have that. I'll be like, shit happens. That's how I move. That's how I'm still like jolly, and I'm still like a lot of the way that I approach my experiences and the way I talk about them in my videos is very like, I'm really giddy and like I make it into comedy. I don't take it that seriously because it happened already. Now, if I was in it, you know what I'm saying? I'll be a little bit more moody and shit. And you've seen that with the whole car situation with Shorty, with the whip. You've seen that. That was a whole different heck. But I don't walk around here all bitter like, oh yeah, Shorty's ain't shit. I don't walk around like that. So this is not a good, I'm not jacking this. I'm keeping it respectful though.
Let that shit go, man. Y'all need to learn how to have a new leaf. Learn from the relationships that you have after the age of really 20. I think that's really a good basis point to have to where you can start having these interpersonal relationships. And that one relationship or serious relationship that you did have, maybe you need to use that as a basis rather.
And that's what I do. It's just very difficult. The demographic here is not the same as it was when I had my last serious relationship. My last serious relationship was in high school. That was 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And we were still young bloods. You know what I'm saying? And then the one I had after that was like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? With previous shorty. Cool John. Right? But we both agreed that it wasn't best for us to be I agreed that it wasn't good for us to be together because she had a lot of things that she had to work on, and I didn't have the patience to be able to sort through that with her. I didn't. Right? There was a lot of assumptions that I was getting, punished for. A lot of trauma that she was going through that I was getting blamed for, receiving a bad end of the stick. I'm not gonna stick through a situation like that. That's not my fault. And I'm trying to be patient. I'm trying to be understanding. You piling it on the table. You leaving it there, and I'm helping you sort it, and you giving me attitude. I'm not staying there for that, right? But let's continue.
Than the failed relationship that you had. Let's start there. After we go on from that, stop having preconceived notions about other people. To be quite honest, I was never really focused about what other people like were attracting or doing at all. I was always worried about me and how I looked, how I was perceiving myself and bringing myself out into the world. And not to be very much so Mr. Samuels here, but you really do need to give out what you want. You can't ask for this,
I'm gonna just wait to say. I'm trying to see what she's gonna get at with this one because I'm very I'm not even gonna say what I want to say, and it's not anything towards her. It's because like I know what I want, and I walk in the way that I know what I want. But that doesn't mean that once people see that, it's going to be like, okay, that's my match. That takes time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm simply coming on this platform to talk about my experiences. So it may look like it's more bad than good, but I'm just weeding them out. I'm weeding them out, and it's content. I do not be that concerned about dating on a regular day. I be chilling. And I tell people this all the time. This is good content that I be dropping for y'all. I might make a video about me almost getting robbed in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And that was related to Shorty. Because it's good content. Do I need to reveal it to the public? No. Right? And then it's gonna, this might be like proving her point in a way, because it's like, yeah, how are you linking up with a shorty that's about to rob you? I never knew that was her body. You never know how some people are. You just don't know. You just don't know sometimes. Here we go.
What you think is on your level when you don't even know what level you're at. Not saying that Lord Heck is ugly.
I'm very aware of what level I'm on, and that's why I'm having the problems I'm having. Like, I'm aware. I'm aware. What is that one quote? It says, as long as you have desires, you will... What the fuck? What was it? I don't remember. It was some shit. If I find it, it comes to my mind, it'll come.
I think he is a naturally and fundamentally insecure person, and I think insecurities tend to project. There's nothing...
I'm not insecure. I actually like to believe that I'm a very confident person. It's just that when I'm walking around being myself, people are telling me, hey, this, that, and the third. I brush it off, or I react, and now I'm labeled insecure. On a regular day, if you see me out and about, I'm chilling, I'm vibing. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'm an insecure person. But yeah, unpopular opinion.
Wrong with being an insecure person and being confident, because he's extremely confident. He's not confidently conceited, but I would say he's confidently insecure. Confidence
and conceited is both sides of the same coin. It's like two sides of the same coin. It just depends on who's doing it. I really have learned that. You know what I'm saying? If you have somebody that's really good at basketball, talking shit, and he's actually good at basketball, then he's confident. You know what I'm saying? But if you got somebody that does the same shit but sucks ass at fucking basketball, is he confident or is he conceited and delusional? That'd be the difference. It's the same thing with the shorties.
I think he knows what he has, that the weaknesses are, and I think he always falls back on that when somebody either leaves or isn't, around him that much.
What else do I have to go off of? Most of the times when we don't have, when we don't have success in whatever endeavor, right, and we receive no feedback, right, there's a lot of ghosting that happens nowadays. We don't get feedback on what we're doing wrong. So what other conclusions can I make, right? What other conclusions can I make? And again, I still don't run around here bitter and shit. I don't run around bitter. I just learn, and I'll be like, okay, once a shorty stopped texting me frequently, like her texting pattern changes, like say, for example, if you were texting on a day-to-day basis, and her shit slows down, like more than a couple times, like several times, I'm just like, all right, maybe she lost interest. I'm going to start pulling back as well. You know what I'm saying? We don't get feedback. It's not like, okay, you did this wrong. It's none of that. Most of the time it's ghost, and you got to figure it out on your own. And you could have done nothing wrong. It could have been just somebody else jumped in the picture that they were more attracted to or something like that, and they just stopped talking to you. That happens all the time. Men do it too. Word.
Either blaming it on your ability, your ability to not stand up for oneself. All these other things that you are cognitively aware of, stand up for around them that much. Either blaming it on your ability, your ability to not stand up for oneself. All these other things that you are cognitively aware of, that these people are actually manipulating. Those insecurities are manipulating because they're projected, and they're on the forefront.
I don't think I project those insecurities. I just don't. My thing is, like, if somebody is doing some bullshit, why the fuck would you want to manipulate somebody like that? like, I know that there's people aware that do that, but it's like, how is that my fault? You know what I'm saying? How is that my fault? Because I'm aware that, okay, I'm not really the person. If I see you do some bullshit, my old habits would be like, all right, you know what, my nigga, I will try to have a conversation with you, but if you don't allow me to do it, I'm going to just do this. I'm going to push you away. That's it. I'm going to just go about my way, because a lot of people won't even allow you to get that conversation out. But it's like, because I have an insecurity, right? For example, like say it's me not being able to speak up for myself or whatever, right? And I vocalized that. And why would you want to manipulate that particular trait? That sounds like you're a shitty person. Why would I want to stay around that? I'm being vulnerable. That's confidence. I'm like, hey, I know this about me. That's self-awareness, right? I'm actively working on it. And I see you as a significant other, or working towards that, and we having deep conversations, because I love deep conversations. That's just one of the things that I find to be very attractive. I know what I like. You know what I'm saying? And you turn around and you do some fugazi shit like that, it doesn't say anything about me. It's that person. Why would you use that against me? That's fucked up.
And kind of the same thing with projecting your past tense relationships right now. I understand for somebody who's been beaten down over and over again, bullied, but you really have to, when you get older, it's like literally having a whole new book. You need to learn what you want for yourself, and what you need to do to attract that person. There's always something that can be done more, especially if you're trying to go with that person. And also put yourself in those spaces. If you don't want to talk to women when you go out, how do you expect to get yourself a woman that you want? If you see her out, you don't talk to her unless she comes up and speaks something to you, or she's going out of her way.
I don't say that. I say, when I'm out, right, and I'm not hunting, right? I don't think that's the most productive thing to do. I go out, I'm genuinely just having a good time. Now, a lot of men, especially now, they say a good woman will come to you when you just mind your business and you do your own thing, you indulge in your hobbies, you do your thing, right? Now, if you meet a woman in your common space that you're doing that activity in, even better. Because that means you have something to have a conversation about, right? But if I'm outside for the sole purpose of just running down on everything moving, first of all, it's a waste of time, right? Second of all, I'm more than likely gonna have bad results, or even if I do get a result, right, it's not gonna be something long term. And the issue that a lot of people don't understand is that I don't have an issue hooking up. That's easy work. I'm trying to find the one, right? That's why I'm having the issues I'm having, right? That is not an easy goal. Work. I done talked to a few shorties this month, right? But it goes through a vetting process, go through all these different things. And a lot of these shorties as well, they be just wanting to get boned. Let's not act like they don't have needs as well, right? That's okay. I'm not over here saying I'm better than because I'm not trying to do that. I don't crack everything moving. I don't. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna stop pausing too much.
90% of the time, women do not do that. 90% of the time, you're not gonna get the woman you want because you're
okay. When a woman sees something that they like, right? They're gonna do everything in their fucking power to make sure that that man that they like notice them, either by looking at them really hard, standing near them, asking a friend. Like, I've witnessed this firsthand. I'm not gonna say all shorties are like that, right? But if you have that burning desire, most of the times they're gonna make it very, very obvious. And how do I know that? It is by experience, right? I agree. to a very small amount that I could be walking down on more things. But I can also agree that when a shorty wants something, want a specific man, they make it very obvious. Very obvious. Right?
You're not going after her. You're not pulling her aside, talking to her, chopping it up. Not to say that every moment or every time you go out, you need to talk to a girl, but if you feel that one connection with that person, you know that shit, bro. You see her from across the room, she looking at you, even if she don't.
Here it is. Let's hear it.
Come up to you. Y'all keep looking at each other. Y'all keep bumping into each other at the end of the night. Say something, bro. Do not let
that. I say something every time. That's the thing. So I'm just like, you know this, right? Shout out to you. You know this, right? But I'm not about to walk down on a shorty that's not paying me no mind. That makes no sense. Especially as a person that be squat in the middle of the circle, dancing, doing backflips. Like, there's a lot of eyes on me. So it's very easy for me to, like, I guess, assess a target. That's a terrible word. Or assess the vibe of a specific shorty. Because they already see me in my limelight dancing in the middle of the circle. Like, my presence is big in these spaces because I'm a dancer. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why would I waste my time trying to walk down on something that is not even paying me no mind? You know what I'm saying? She already done seen me get active. You know what I'm saying? Why would I waste my time? You literally just said what I be talking about in my videos. Wait for the signal. If a shorty is and I talked about that. There was a shorty in a soca club that was eyeing me down bad. But turns out she had no job. She was house hopping, and she was a stripper. I'm not dealing with that. I'm good. I already have experience in that realm. Take that information how you do. If that's a preconceived notion, for sure. But I'm good. I don't want to deal with a shorty like that.
That shit slipped out of your hands because of how many times you gotta be down. I was a salesman, so before this job, you get told no 100 times before you get that yes, baby.
She got sales practice. That's a really good sales. If you got sales practice, you can handle the no's really well. And that makes sense why she's very well spoken. I love that. That's amazing. Great skill to have. If you want to learn how to communicate with people and be more resilient to rejection, sales. It is one of the most valuable skills in this life. Everything needs marketing. Everything needs sales. Let's continue.
And it's low key the same with dating. I've never had an issue getting who I wanted, plain and simple. And I think that people who do have that issue need to focus more so on self than the people that they're attracting right now. Because if that's not who you want to attract, don't worry about that. Look at the places that these people are and who they tend to date, not to mimic yourself off of, but see how you can then fit yourself into that archetype if that's the people that you want, because you're not going to get them if you don't. That's just a little word of advice from me.
Okay, that's good game. I've been getting common advice like that as well. I'll go in different spaces, things of that nature. But I'm also a person that if I'm not genuinely interested in a specific hobby right now, I'm not going to put myself in these spaces just for a shorty. All right? It has to be a genuine thing because that's just how I am as a person. I cannot just go into a space in looking for a shorty. I just think that's corny and it's desperate. And I don't operate off the desperate energy. I don't do that. But yes, this is sound advice. Anyone that's looking at this video, sound advice for sure. All right? Let's continue.
If y'all feel some type of way in the comments, you please tell me if you do and you feel some type of way, like this is not gonna change. If you are red pill or black pill on this, that's fine. But to be quite honest with you,
I don't got no problem with her. I actually appreciate this video, and shout out to her. I just get very passionate about things, as she is very passionate on her end as well. But let's continue.
I think that the best thing to do is stop having preconceived notions. Stop worrying about your past. Stop bringing that into here, and get.
I don't really have any preconceived notions. Because if I read the definition again, it says, let me just pull it up. It says, a preconceived notion is an opinion, idea, or assumption formed before having adequate evidence or first-hand experience. Right? How they form, past experiences. Previous encounters can create strong beliefs that are carried forward. Right? Societal influences, cultural norms. These are formed, it says formed before having adequate first-hand experience, right? When I come to y'all and I talk to y'all about each experience, y'all can see that I approach it with open arms. I'll be like, okay, new leaf, right? Perfect example is the whole stripper shorty, right? Y'all might be like, nigga, she was a stripper. That's not a good idea. But this debunks the whole preconceived notion thing, right? With everything I know about a stripper, like, that's red light, bad news. But I judged her as an individual when she first presented herself to me before I moved in with her. It seemed like a great idea. I said, although I know that she's a stripper, I said, cool, let me fuck with her anyway and build something with her. If I operated from a preconceived notion, I would have been like, hell nah. You see what I'm saying? So when I get into these relationships or these friendships, I always operate from a space of everyone gets a clean slate. And I could put that, I put my life on the line behind that. Word. Right? A lot of people be like, yo, he's about to turn into his villain arc. I haven't done that yet. I don't think I'll ever do a villain arc because it's like, what's the point? There's no point in being bitter, bro. It's no point. This is why I come on here and I tell my story in a very comedic way. Because it's like, bro, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's not that serious, bro. But I think she's using the information that the experiences that I put on my channel, and I come off very passionate as a way to say, it's a preconceived notion. When I just be bullshitting. It's YouTube. I be bullshitting. Word. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't be that serious for me. But let's hear it. Let's finish it off.
Yeah. Focus on, and the last thing is just do what you need to do to attract the person you want to attract. And I know I'm not the best looking person, but I'm always gonna be a bad bitch. Never.
Now you solid. You solid. You definitely got it. I could tell you that. You got it. You know what I'm saying? Pause, Pause. I know you attract the females, but you definitely, you know what I'm saying? You have the phenotype, the archetype for you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say for a female that likes females. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say the word because I don't want to come off disrespectful because I respect her. She ain't say nothing disrespectful in this video. And that's what I like. This is the type of shit that I like. You come on here, you be respectful, you say your claim, and that's that. We could keep it cool. You know what I'm saying?
Not have me a bad bitch.
Word.
And a bad bitch never not like me.
And that's it. You feel what I'm saying? But anyway, that's the video. You know what I mean? Y'all let me know y'all thoughts on this. A lot of things. There was some cool advice to there, but you know what I mean? I'm a sub, you know what I'm saying? Drop a like. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just generic information that I've heard before. I was hoping to hear something a little bit more groundbreaking. But yeah, shout out to her. And yeah, y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the description about this particular video, because yeah, this is interesting times. I feel like my channel is blowing up a little bit more and more every day, and I'm starting to see these videos a little bit more and more. So it's cool. It's cool. I just don't like the ones that be trolling, because then you could get smacked in your upper lip. I'm gonna just keep it a band. But yo, yeah, you know, I got suck him out of blood.